my name's Heather. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you're just as excited as I am because we're going to be talking about a lot of my favorite products that have helped me to lose 25 pounds on Weight Watchers in the last 6 months. These are my ride or die products. I continue to buy them. They're always in my fridge. They're always in my pantry at my parents' house. I take them with me whenever I go places. I introduce them to friends and family, and they are a significant reason of why I have been so successful. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and stick around. Let's get started. I, most of the time, would try to keep my snacks under 5 points, usually around 2 if I could, or if I didn't have very many points, there are some 0-point snacks that I love that aren't necessarily like a fruit or a veggie. The low-cal, sugar-free puddings. These are 2 points, and if you wanted to, you could put a little dollop of sugar-free, low-fat, the Ready Whip, some sort of whipped cream on top. I used to do that. Now I'm happy just eating this for 2 points. I'm good to go. These are going to be a 0 snack item. You're looking for either the unsweetened applesauce or you're looking for a no sugar added. I know the strawberry and cherry ring in at 0 points, and these are 0 points. It's amazing because you don't have to like carry around a fresh apple and have it bruised or something like that. You don't have to cut it up. You don't need a knife, and you do need a spoon, you know. I haven't found that for me any of the packets that are squeezable that people give to kids were 0 points. I couldn't find unsweetened. I wasn't looking very hard. My favorite actually is the off-brand version at Target or Walmart. You know, shopping during the pandemic, sometimes you couldn't find the name brand items, and I've been okay with that. One of the things that I do want to add that goes along with snacks is Lily's baking chips. So this is the bag that I prefer. It has teeny tiny little chips in here, and you can have up to like 10, I think, for 0 points or somewhere around there. And so if I didn't want to add any points to my 0-point dessert, I could. But you can have, you know, quite a few for 1 point. And if so, again, it's only a 1-point snack if you're adding in a bunch of chocolate chips. But then it tastes like a chocolate-covered strawberry or a chocolate-covered cherry. Another snack that I like to have is a yogurt, whether it's a Oikos 000 or a Light and Fit. This is just a vanilla because right now I have a granola that I'm eating with this. Typically, I could just eat this by itself, or I would add in something crunchy, whether it was like a graham cracker for a point or some tiny cookies or something that's only going to add in a point to make this a 3-point snack. Right now I'm adding in, because it's Christmas, a dark chocolate granola with peppermint in it. That adds 2 points, and then I crunch up one of the small mini candy canes and I put that in there. It's so good. It is like a little dessert then at that point, and you're looking at 5 points when I'm adding in all those extra things. But most of the time I was happy with just a yogurt. The last thing that I would typically have either as a side or a snack whenever I'm eating something is bite-sized chips, and I prefer the Tostitos brand. You can buy the off-brand, but I have found that I get more chips for less points using this Tostitos one, and I'm almost out, but you can have, I think you can have like 24 chips for 4 points, but a lot of times I would bump that down. I don't need 24 chips unless I'm having it as like my main meal as a nacho or something, but most of the time if I'm just having it as a side with a taco or a sandwich, I only need about 11 chips, and I think that's like 2 points. Again, everything is going to be up on the screen. I'm not going to be scanning it in right now. I think that's the last for my snacks, but we'll kind of keep on the sweet for just a little bit longer. I love to have like PBJ. I'm a big PBJ fan, and the best sugar-free 0-point the best sugar-free jam that we found is this Skinny Girl brand. It is 10 calories per serving, and that is 1 tablespoon. I don't typically have more than 1 tablespoon, 0 points. So you have that. There are 2 different variations that you can have for like a peanut butter on it. A lot of people go to the PB2 and mix it with either water, which is what it calls for on the back, or they'll mix it with like a sugar-free syrup, either a syrup that you would put in your coffee, like a Torani, or I can't think of the other brand, the skinny syrups, or they'll mix it with like a breakfast sugar-free syrup, and that is still, all of those syrups are 0 points for when you're mixing it with, you know, 1 to 2 tablespoons or whatever with this peanut butter. It's nice. You can, you know, add a little bit more syrup, a little bit more liquid to make it drizzle, and so that's a lot of times what I need. When I was eating this, I was using it on I was drizzling it on top of banana, or I was using this on top of like an acai bowl as a drizzle. The other thing, if you can still find it, is a whipped peanut butter. So a typical peanut butter is going to give, if you have 2 tablespoons, which is what a serving size is, it's 6 points. And 1 tablespoon is 3 points. So with the whipped peanut butter, 1 tablespoon is only 2 points. 2 tablespoons are 5 because Weight Watchers math is weird. But 2 tablespoons of this is 150 calories. And a lot of times I would definitely want 2 tablespoons whenever I was doing something, unless I was melting it. I think I could get away with 1. And so again, that's only 2 points versus 3 points. So you're only saving a point, but a lot of times that point can mean whether you're having dessert or not. Let's go ahead and move on to condiments. So that'll finish up our sweet things, because one of the condiments, our seasoning's a condiment that I think I found this out from the Coleman couple. They said, and they talk about how, like, if you use this cinnamon sugar in the capacity of 1 teaspoon where it's already mixed for you, it's 0 points. Once you get over that, it does add points. So a lot of times, I measured out a teaspoon one time and it was way too much. So a lot of times I'll just sprinkle it on whatever I'm gonna have it. I love to have it on my applesauce, just the regular applesauce. It gives it just a little bit hint of flavor, or sprinkle it on top of apples, on top of bananas. I've added this to a lot of different things, and there's still always so much. It amazes me how far seasonings go. Other seasonings are obviously like salt, pepper, garlic powder. Those are staples in most households. This is one that I recently picked up when I was at Trader Joe's, and I love the onion salt. It's got granulated onion, garlic, minced onion, salt, green onion, and then dried chives. And I've been adding this to my egg in the morning, or just sprinkling it on veggies. It really has a lot of flavor because it's got a lot of salt in it. So if you're looking to cut back on the salt, don't pick this up, but it makes everything taste really good. The rest of the condiments are, I'm a dipper, so I love ketchup, ranch. Those are really the 2 dips I like, unless we're talking like Chick-fil-A. So ranch, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a ranch that isn't gonna be significant in points, but the Bolt House Farms ranch is 2 tablespoons. Is it 2 tablespoons or 2 points? Again, that's why I knew, even if I wrote it down and if it's something I count all the time, my memory just doesn't work the way I want it to. So I'm gonna put everything in the screen, but I think it's like 2 for 1 or 2 for 2. And most of the times I do not need 2 tablespoons of this. It's super creamy and more liquidy than the Ken's Buttermilk Ranch that I was using previously before I was counting points. And so this just drizzles right on top of a buffalo chicken or salad or whatever you're having. And then the last condiment is going to be the no sugar added ketchup. And this is gonna be 0 points. Most people count it as 0 points, I'm pretty sure. But I think even if you scan it in, you can have several tablespoons, which again, I don't need that much. But you gotta make sure you get the no sugar added. Totally worth it. Yes, it's a little bit more money. No, I don't think they sell it in the generic brands or whatever, but if you want some ketchup and you don't want to add points and you don't want to be a rebel, do it. The last thing that really kind of falls under the condiments is olive oil spray. And this, a lot of people use to coat their pans. This is what I use every single morning whenever I'm making my eggs. It's 0 calories. You can have like so many sprays for 0. And so I usually just give it a quick little spray. I don't use very much of it. Continuing on in that like breakfast mantra, I think most of the other things I have on here are breakfast, is egg whites. So I'm on the green plan, which means I have to count most things. Most things have points. So an egg is 2 points. So I don't have 2 eggs in the morning. I have 1 egg and up to like a quarter of egg whites. And so this is a quarter cup is 0 points. So that's bulking up the protein, but not giving me any more points. Let's talk about probably like my favorite breakfast thing is an everything bagel thin. I'm a bagel lover. I love bagels and cream cheese. It's what I probably would have eaten on the daily for the rest of my life if I could, but I don't even want to guess how many points are in a regular bagel. It's astronomical compared to these. These are 3 points. And I personally don't feel like I'm missing a regular bagel with cream cheese because I have this with a Laughing Cow cheese. You either have to get the light or one of the flavored options, because if you get the regular one, it is 2 points, but all of the flavored ones that I've scanned are 1 point for one triangle, and it comes in a triangle like this. You just spread that on there. A lot of times I'll have that in place of my cheese on a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, or a sausage, egg, and cheese bagel, or whatever I'm having. Just spread that on there. I put my egg, I put my meat, whatever meat that is, and that's my little sandwich. That's something I have usually at least multiple times a week. The other option for bread you're gonna be looking for is typically like a 45 calorie bread, a 35 calorie bread. Each slice of this is going to be 1 point. And so you're looking at, you know, like a 5-point sandwich or whatever if you're having this with some mustard, a lot of meat, and some cheese. You know, it's not going to be very high in points at all. Another bread option is the Joseph's Pita. You are looking for something about this size. Definitely scan it. Make sure it has like 60 calories or so. These are 1 point. So you can, you know, cut it up and you can have 2 little pita slices. You can have it folded up as a thicker pita. We use these for pita pizzas. I'm sure I'll be making one of those in my what I eat in a days, because this is something I've been eating for years. When I did Fit Girl, which is like Fit Girl's Guide, which is what my Instagram was started as, was a Fit Girl's Guide one, girl. You would have pita pizzas like the first week or 2 on the Fit Girl's Guide plan. And I've been eating these since I started that several years ago and love them. My parents eat them. These are low carb as well. The carbs in this are 9 carbs, but you take away the 2 dietary fibers, and so this is only 7 carbs. So the last vessel to put all your food in is a tortilla. And because they make so many low carb tortillas now, something like the La Banderita carb counter, this is only 1 point. You can get it in white or wheat, but the carb counter that's like a different, not carb counter, there's like a low carb other tortilla that my family uses. I don't know what brand it is, but that one is actually 2 points. And so you do have to, you know, make sure you scan it, pick it up. The Olay burrito ones that are low in points or whatever, those are only 1 point. I use those sometimes too, but most of the time I really like the texture of the La Banderita ones. So let's finish off breakfast really quick, because I've got these. This is, again, if I'm gonna be having like a breakfast burrito, use that. Use my egg whites, and then I also love this Butterball turkey pre-made, pre-cooked. I only have to warm this up. And so a lot of times I would scramble my egg, put that on the burrito, toss this in there. It says to warm it up for like 5 to 7 minutes, but I don't even do that. To me, because it's mixed in with the egg and stuff, it's already warm enough. But you can have a 1/4 cup of this for 1 point. The serving is 1/2 cup for 2 points, and how many calories? 110 calories. But most of the time, a 1/4 cup was plenty for me. I've thrown this in soups. I've used it on pizza if I'm looking for like a sausage pizza. So this is very versatile. And there's another brand, the Jimmy Dean, that I know somebody said that one doesn't scan correctly. Even when I typed in this, it still came up as a 1/4 cup for 1 point. So that's awesome. Love that. Another breakfast item is going to be Canadian bacon. So this is the Jones Canadian bacon, and 1 slice of this is actually 0 points. 3 slices are 1 point. So it really depends on whether or not you're looking to not have a point and you don't want as much protein or whatever that is going to give you. There's enough flavor in there for 1 slice for me, so a lot of times I was only having 1. So another snack item that I didn't mention because it was in with all of my breakfast stuff are the Baby Bell cheeses. These light Baby Bell cheese are only 1 point, and you can also buy like a string cheese that's, you know, going to be like a low part skim mozzarella or whatever. I feel like this is so much creamier, and I just enjoy it more than a cheese stick. So this is what I go with when I'm looking for like a snack that I want that's got cheese in it. Okay, let's continue talking about cheese. I, for a long time, used like a reduced fat cheese, or I just wouldn't use very much of regular cheese. To me, I don't know that I can really taste the cheese unless it's melted. And even then, I just want to know that there's cheese on there. And so I have switched to the fat-free cheese because up to a 1/4 cup of this is 0 points. And so I can add it knowing it's there. I definitely need it on pizza. So you gotta make sure you have some sort of mozzarella cheese. And a lot of times I'll use at least a point of this because I'm using more than 1/4 of a cup whenever I'm making pizza. But I just really enjoy that. I have to go to a specific Walmart to find that. My regular Walmart does not sell it. I have to go to a super Walmart. So that's something to keep in mind. This is like half the price. This Walmart Great Value brand is half the price of the Kraft one. I don't know that I've ever actually tried the Kraft, or if I have, I don't remember. I'm not going to say that, but it may be slightly different. This obviously does have a weird texture to it because it's not a full fat cheese. It's fat free, you know? And most of the cheese, when you're thinking about the gooey, super rich cheese, it's going to have fat in it. Okay, so last thing for cheese is you're looking for like a thinly sliced, and not just any thinly sliced, it's gotta be like a white cheese for the most part. So this is the Great Value thin sliced provolone. It is 1 point for 1 slice, but if you have more than that, like it does add, like 2 might be 3, 3 might be 4, something like that. But I know 1 slice, because again, I'm usually looking for like 1 point or less for a lot of things. If I can make it 1 point, I'm golden. But like the ultra thin from the, I don't know what the brand is called, but it's a red package. It comes in like Swiss and provolone. That's all really good. But if you go into the yellow cheeses, it's going to be like 2 points for a thin slice. And so a lot of times it's not worth it for me if I just want to know that there's cheese on there. And the last item that I'm going to talk to you about is the Tyson blackened chicken. Before Weight Watchers, I was not a pre-cooked girl. Most of the time, unless it was like some sort of stir fry thing, like a Trader Joe's chicken, I wasn't buying it pre-cooked and just needing to warm it up because I buy my meat and season it and cook it myself. That's just what I've always done, as my parents did. And so it's cheaper that way. But this stuff is so nice to have on hand because 3 ounces of this is 2 points. It's low carb. If you're living with people that also are doing low carb, you can all eat it. This is great chopped up and put on like a white chicken pizza. This is good as a substitute on a breakfast bagel or English muffin, as like a Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwich dupe. And it's also good in a wrap. Like there's so many different ways to use this. I will coat it in buffalo sauce, chop it up and toss it into a bag of veggie pasta or something. And it's just so flavorful. This one's so flavorful. They did recently come out with a buffalo. We bought that. I left it at my parents' house because that's where I tried it. And it wasn't as good as this, in my opinion. I'd rather take this and add buffalo sauce to it than buy the buffalo one. But I've only had it once, so we'll see, you know, if we continue to purchase it. We have multiple bags of this in every freezer of the households that I frequent because we just love it so much. That's all I have for you today. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, go ahead and stick around because I have a desserts and drinks version coming at you at some point, probably in the next few days. But I had plenty more to talk about. I could continue to talk about products that have really helped me in my weight loss, and desserts and drinks were something that I thought I would talk about in a different one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, like it down below, leave me a comment of whatever item in your house is a staple. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I do post every once in a while over there, so you go ahead and follow me over there. I'm so glad that you were here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!